The Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania was the best Raw under Triple H. The best Raw in Netflix. And this is what I expect. This is the standard that I hope they set going forward. Because this can save WWE. As of lately, I've been especially on the build to WrestleMania, the shows did not feel special. Did not feel important. This Monday Night Raw felt pretty important. So this is why I was confused. This is why it didn't make any sense. When you're building up to WrestleMania, those shows are supposed to matter. And this one show felt like it mattered. So hopefully Triple H can keep his foot on the gas and keep up what he's doing with this just one show. And I see a lot of people saying, this is cinema. Triple H is so good. He's the best. Chill. He had one good show. We're coming off of WrestleMania being a dog shit show. The build up to WrestleMania was trash. Let's calm down. This is one good show. Hopefully, SmackDown on Friday can be great. And hopefully the next Raw is great. Right? That's what I want. You know, if he does that, then I will praise Triple H. I will give him some props. But just having one good show, I'm not going to parade and say Triple H is amazing. All right? But let's dive into the show. We open up with John Cena coming out, basically cutting a promo saying, I was right. I won. I told you what was going to happen. I will ruin wrestling. And, you know, he basically continues on that point. Pretty good promo. I mean, he talks about how he only has, 27 appearances left. And then, while he was wrapping up his promo, Randy Orton comes from behind and gives him an RKO. I really enjoyed this because this just reminded me of my childhood. Growing up, it was Randy Orton, John Cena. Those were the two top guys when I was a kid. So it would be cool to see them in today's time. Hopefully, John Cena can show up to work more consistently than he was on the build-up to WrestleMania. Because in my opinion, that's why the build-up with John Cena and Cody just didn't feel as strong to me. It didn't feel as emotional. So John Cena saying he has 27 more appearances. That seems like a lot. So hopefully he can show up to shows more consistently and just build feuds, you know, and help build other superstars because they need it. Next, we get Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Lara and Becky Lynch for the tag team titles. And Liv Morgan and Raquel ended up getting their tag team titles back. And I want to talk about the Becky Lynch and Lara Valkyria situation because this is what I was confused on during WrestleMania because I remember Bayley being in the build-up for the tag team with Lara Valkyria, and then they just swapped it with Becky Lynch with no reasoning, nothing. And they didn't even bring it up in the show, not to my knowledge. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was for, but they probably did that just for this. At the end of the match, Becky Lynch turns heel and beats up Lara Valkyria. But the thing is, everyone is cheering for Becky Lynch. Everyone is screaming, one more time, keep beating up Lara Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champion. So she kept beating her up. That's a problem. Why the fans are cheering at the heel beating up the babyface? That's a problem. And that's a continuous problem that I want to talk about with the show. That is a problem. Next, we get a Judgment Day vignette. Dominic Mysterio is basically the biggest babyface in WWE. All of a sudden, I don't know why it's cool to cheer for him now. Can we please get back to booing him? I feel like that's what made him a good character. That's what made him good. I cannot cheer for someone who's basically average in everything. If this guy was not Rey Mysterio's son, no one would be looking at him like, wow, he's a champion. Bro, he's an average guy. And the fact that he is an IC champion before Montez Ford, like, that really hurts me in my soul. Now, back to the segment. We basically have, the Judgment Day saying, good job, Dominic Mysterio. Finn Balor shows up. He stares at the title. And Liv Morgan's like, oh, if whoever wins, it's a win for all of us. And he was like, whatever happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. And this was actually a funny scene. Finn Balor turns around. He agrees with Liv. Turns around. And Carlito was like, we both are not champions, but it feels like we are. Man, can we please have Carlito have a character arc? Please. He's like the R-Truth basically. But I don't think anyone has ever interacted with Carlito in the Judgment Day. And he's been in the Judgment Day for 5 months. And they haven't interacted with him. That's what it feels like. It feels like he just says some sly shit at the end. And that's it. He eats that apple. He always has that apple in his hand. So, he's ready for war, I guess. I don't know. I love Carlito. He cracks me up, man. Next, we get Liv. Wait, what the fuck is her name? Io Sky. Oh, my God. She comes out with a promo. Obviously, she's not great at speaking English, so the promo is not really, you know what I mean? It's hard to follow. Stephanie Valkyrie comes out. She's not great with English either. She basically says, I respect you. let's have a match, basically. And then they have a match, pretty good match all around. Stephanie Vaquer, I mean, right now, she's probably my favorite woman wrestler. I mean, she got every asset. Now, in my opinion, would I have had Io Sky win the championship? No, right? I would have had Bianca Belair turning heel because she's already getting booed somehow. You have her turn heel, do something crazy, right? Like backstab both of them, right? Her turning heel, have massive heat, and now you have a big heel champion who was already getting booed, but now she's getting booed more. And then you would have the Rhea versus Bianca Belair, just them two having their feud. I just think that would have been they would have made so much money off of that feud. They probably want to save that for a WrestleMania feud, so I understand, but I think, in my opinion, that's what I would have done. Now back to the match, right? Before the match got to end, they got interrupted by the NXT girlies, right? We got Roxanne Perez, and we got Gilia. I forgot her last name, but I call her Gilia. They basically jumped them, they beat them up, but someone comes to basically save the day, and that's Rhea Ripley, right? Here's my problem. Why is Rhea Ripley literally in every woman's storyline? We don't have to see her every time. You know, this would have been fine just with those women. You don't have to bring another top star woman to kind of steal the mojo, kind of steal their moment. I don't know. Maybe Rhea Ripley, they just wanted Rhea Ripley to be on the show, so that's what they had to do. But, again, Rhea Ripley does not need to be in every woman's storyline. She doesn't. So now she's with this. She has to stare down with, Gilia at the end. So they're trying to tell that Gilia is going to be that rival to Rhea. That's what I'm being told here. That's what I picked up from that segment. It was a good segment. I enjoyed it. But I just don't think they needed Rhea to pop up. But it was still a good segment. Next, we got Jey Uso coming out to speak. Wow. Basically, he comes out and says, I did it. And that's it. Sami Uso comes out, and this is probably the most entertaining part of it because half the people were thinking, Sami Zayn might turn heel here. He might do something entertaining. No. He just says, good job, Jey. You deserve it. I respect you. I love you. They hug. And basically, that's it. I mean, what else do I got to cover here? He's our new champion. Fuck. We got Rusev coming back. He basically squashed the Alpha Academy. I don't know why they even brought the Alpha Academy out, because I'm pretty sure they're like the biggest babyface faction. And we bring out Rusev, a guy who's just now returning to beat up this babyface faction, and he's getting cheered to beat up a babyface faction. Can we see why that's a problem? I don't understand. I mean, I'm happy that they didn't beat up the New Day because, you know, that'd be they just won the championships, and if them getting beat up by one guy is sad. But like, you got to at least bring the Judgment Day without Dom. Do that. The Alpha Academy getting beaten up and getting cheered, that's crazy. But Rusev came back. I'm excited for Rusev. I want Rusev to take that title away from Jey Uso. That's my guy. That's the guy I want to take the title away. He's looking better than ever, man. He's in really good shape. I mean, he looks a little slimmer, but more muscle. I'm excited to see him. We just need some type of change, some type of difference in the main events, right? We got Jey Uso up there. It's gonna feel a little boring. So it's nice to have a new guy who I think should be in the heavyweight title picture. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see him back. Next, we get the best segment of the night, in my opinion, and that was Gunther coming out. Everyone saying, you tapped out. You tapped out. Obviously, he's a little fragile. He lost the championship. He lost to Jey fucking Uso. You know, that's a little embarrassing. Basically, he talks to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. You know, he hears everyone saying, you tapped out. He gets a little angry. So, you know, he confronts Michael Cole, gives him a little tapping. Pat McAfee stands up for his friend, of course. They get separated. Gunther breaks away from the separation and chokes out Pat McAfee. And gosh, finally we have something that is personal, emotional. Like, this is what I want to see, all right? People getting choked out, even if they're not wrestlers, right? If they talk shit, you won't get dealt with, buddy. So that's what Gunther did, and this is what's helping Gunther right now. I'm happy that Gunther is doing something after losing to Jey Uso. And, you know, we'll see what happens from this storyline. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Maybe it could be a match. We'll see. Seth Rollins is about to be on the run of his life. I mean, Seth Rollins is putting in the best work. If you talk about even before WrestleMania, I even said this in my video, he's looking the best out of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Right? He's not crying for a Paul Heyman, and he's the one who ended up with a Paul Heyman by his side. Now, before Braun Breaker was a Paul Heyman guy, right? Because now we found out Braun Breaker is working with Seth Rollins, and he's working with Paul Heyman. But before that, I wasn't the biggest fan of him. I still want to see what they're going to tell right? What story they're going to tell from Braun Breaker here. But before that, he really wasn't in any storylines, right? He was an IC champion twice, but no real storylines. And that's why at the time, when he was champion and when he lost it, I'm just like, what are they even doing with Braun Breaker? It feels like they're just wasting time with him. You know, he's a young guy that can, I mean, he should be able to show up to work every week, right? So now they put him in this storyline with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. He feels important. He feels important now. And, you know, that's the best thing you can do for a young star. I'm hoping they can do that for another young star. I don't know if this is going to be like another Evolution type of faction, right? Is it just going to be Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins? Is there going to be more people they're going to recruit? And if they're going to recruit more people, you got to recruit someone young like you did with a Braun Breaker, because that's going to be an automatic star that you're going to bring in. So, yeah, Braun Breaker, I'm happy that he's finally in something that really means something for this business, and he can really show everyone what he can do. But he does need to, in my opinion, he needs to change the bark shit. I am never going to bark at a screen, and I'm never going to bark live. So you might as well change the bark to a Obafemi, huh? You know what I mean? Change it to that shit. Then I'll, but I'm not going to bark. All right? That's going to be it for this video. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.